Hello? Is it? Oh, hey, go video. Okay. Hello and welcome to another live stream. In this video, I have managed to, well, in this live stream, I've broken UTDTG's hexagons. They do not render correctly anymore. Let me just go to my game and hit a run. I should also make the hexagon map smaller so that it renders faster, but you know, what you gonna do? Don't like that the new editor won't let you specify numbers. The one thing I miss is the fact that I start my camera up pretty high and then I have to like drag it all the way down. I used to just set it to 5, but oh, now it's gone too far. Oh, now I'm moving too far. Okay, this should be high enough. Where be my hexagons? So, as you can see, the river tiles don't work anymore. The primary reason for this is that I was implementing an iterator, and when I was implementing the iterator, I made the mistake of changing the order at which the hexagons go around in their circle. I believe what's breaking the river is that I was rotating them counterclockwise, and then in order to wrap my head around the iterator, I then started iterating them clockwise, which then broke everything because, as you can see, this one is putting, like, it thinks this is water, and this one, weirdly, this one thinks this is land, so this is supposed to be here. So this water is actually this water. So it's all just rotated a little bit, but also like flipped, I guess, because these two should be here and this one should be there. So I'm going to fix that, but I figured first I'll start the stream off with just something more casual than me trying to get really frustrated looking at code. So, God, I hate Blender, and it's fucking... everything's a hotkey, so every time I press the wrong button, I end up doing something. It's the one problem with lots of hotkeys, is that you always end up doing something. So we'll start off by making this hexagon, and then we'll go tab, face, is it T, Alt T? There. That's not what I want to do. What I want to do is, no, I want to undo. I want to go grab all of these, Shift D, Control S, 0, enter. If you can't tell, I've done this a lot. Then if we go face, and then we go Control T, no, it's not right. I put that center face in though. I guess it's this face, this face, this face, nope. Don't know what happened there. Face, 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 face. Alright, then we want to go A, and we want to go right click, subdivide twice. This is just the best I found on, well, something's gone wrong over there, that's weird. Why are you being funky? Because that's one face. Okay, so undo. Why was that one face? Delete face. Weird. So now if I subdivide twice. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is the size that I decided. No, it's one more than this. This size. This is the size that I decided was probably best because it basically breaks everything down into a nice symmetry of, you have your center hexagon, which is like this big chunk here. If I go to face selection mode. So you have your big hexagon here. That's your center hexagon. Then you have your smaller hexagon there to create your corners, and a sort of broken, inverted, like, you know, flipped hexagon here. As you can see, these, if you flipped their position, would make another hexagon. So just to me, subdividing 3 times, I think it was, gives you a really nice like outline of where the hexagons should end up in terms of, really it doesn't matter for this, because as long as each cell is internally consistent with itself, it doesn't matter how you break it up. But I just, from my opinion, 1/4 of the way down the length is a good spot to have, like, this is your corner, this is your straight, this is your corner, and then obviously that just extends inward. But in reality, I could have like the corner only like take up like this strip here. It's just, to me, a better symmetry, just to like break each chunk down and you end up with nice bits. Let's see. I've already done this once in terms of I built a really nice river, and then I had a fight with Git and lost it all, because I'm assuming at some point I clicked discard and it was saved in my Git repo, and so that chucked out my my beautiful river that I had made. So what I need to do is to make the river. So this is going to be my template. So this is, let's rename this to capital template. Right. So then for our template, we're going to grab out the center hexagon, like show, Shift D P selected, and this is going to be called core. Right. So then we turn off this one, and we go, no, not template, core. Turn on the core. Okay, and we're going to edit mode here, and we want to dissolve. I don't know. Probably want to do something like delete faces. No. So I would want to go. Let's go back to merge. Why can't I merge last? Why are you not letting me merge last? There we go, last. Then we would want to go like U merge last. I'm sure there's an unsubdivide button. U merge last. U merge last. U merge last. U merge last, and then I believe if I select all of these, Shift, I can go like right click, dissolve vertices. Hey, and then we want to go like A and Control T. So that gives us our core, and as many, the code that I have that turns OBJs into what are they called? Into my wave meshes only works on triangle meshes. If you have any polygon that's not a triangle, the code that I wrote to extract it will just fail, because it expects only 3 edges per polygon. So it only works on triangle meshes. Anyway, we're going to grab this, and we're going to take it down 0.5. No, just way too much. 0.25. Right. So then we need to go to our materials, create a, I guess we can call this material. This material is going to be called, come over here, we go chunk palette. Should we open this in GIMP? Since that will let me look at it. Open YouTube hexagon game crates game assets chunk palette. Open the chunk palette. Okay, then we zoom in and we go, the blue of the water is 15, 14, 13. 15, 14, 13. So we want to go like paint picker. I don't remember which one is magic wand color. One of these is the paint picker. Or do I have to go in here? Yeah, I have to go in here. So I want to select that. I want to grab its hexagon value. And it is, what did I say? 15, 14, 13. So if we come back to Blender, we say this is color 13. and that color 13 in our color picker is from hexagon, is this color. We then say assign and go back to that. So that gives us our water, our lovely, lovely water. I don't know which way is up. Y, positive Y, positive X. So I think this is our flat-topped hexagons. I thought they were flat hexagons. Am I out by 90 degrees? Probably. So we would probably want to go both of these. So go out of this mode, select both, rotate around the Z 60 degrees. No, 30 degrees. Okay, 30 degrees around the axis. Okay. So I'm pretty sure with Y up, that is the correct orientation. So the next thing to do is to go select these, and this is our straight. So Shift D, Control, Shift J. Why have I got two things selected? Turn you. I don't want you. Okay. Undo. Grab. Okay. So I need to go like Shift J, P, Control P, no Shift P. P, Shift P, Alt P, Shift P, P. What am I doing wrong? I literally just did this. Split. No. Separate. P. Just P. Okay. Weird. So this is bank. Then with our bank, we can go into edit mode. Apparently not. Okay. Into edit mode, select these two vertexes, go grab down 0.25. Should be color picker 14. Copy that. Then we come back to Blender. Color. Pick a color, paste that in, go like that. Okay, so that gives us our 14 being a nice bank. So we also need to do the same thing. We come out of edit mode in U. Turn you back on. Go into edit mode here. We are going to need the Shift D P, no, P selection. Okay, so this is so this is WW and this is WF. Basically, just I don't remember how I did my naming scheme. I'll have to look that up because it will break things if I don't get the naming scheme right. But for now, water, water, and then this one's water, flat. And obviously a water can't have a flat connection because that would imply that it itself is flat, which it is not, it is water. So negative 2.5, no, not 2.5, 0.2, negative 0.25. Negative, why is it doing one divide? Okay, grab, go down that way, 0.25, negative. What am I doing wrong? Grab you, go down to here, 0.25, negative. Weird. Okay. And then I want to go to you and I want to say, hey, you have this blue material. Okay, so that means water straight if there is no water. Okay, so that's the only two options really, is it either connects or it doesn't connect, because I haven't got anything like sand yet, but the idea would be if I did have a possibility to connect to sand, I could have like a slope that way, or even just this. But I would probably do it more shallow, like from here to here would be my sand, like instead of having this step and flat. and then make it all yellow to be sand. But for now, the only thing water can connect to is itself or a flat. So it's either water or a bank. Then we go back to our template. We need to extract the clockwise direction, which is this one, and Shift P selection. We turn U off. What have I got? Okay, so we go to U, and this is going to be C. I guess we'll do CWW because it's really easy at first. So we will just go Shift. Just quickly duplicate this. So CWW. When we go into tab, we're just going to go A, grab, take it all down, negative 0.25, and give you the material. The correct material. Come on, correct material. That one. Alright, so again, just this corner will connect to water. So it's a center water. So I guess this is just water flat. And then center water. So then this one, because we need a lot more water than anything else, we're going to shift duplicate. We're going to alt duplicate. How do I alt duplicate? There we go. So if I remember, alt duplicate makes a copy that's like a referenced copy, which means if I modify the original, it will modify this one. Then we rotate around that. We rotate around 60. Negative 60. Okay, so for that to work, so this is going to be a so we have this one, which is our template for now, and this one's going to be CFF. And then with CFF, we literally just grab this corner, you go down to 0.25 negative. So, and then we also color you with the material brown. Okay, so that's the fun. We can turn this one off. That is now a corner for two flats. So as you can see, seamless connection, lovely. Next, we need to do some more fun things like, so let's turn off our flat. We need our core. I want this one. We want to go Alt, duplicate, rotate you negative 60. Right. So we need to Shift, duplicate you. This is going to be corner flat water. So flat water, which means that this one gets the fun thing of going, grabbing you, going down to 0.25 negative. Then I also want this one to go down to 0.25 negative. And I believe this one also goes down to 0.25 negative. I would love to be able to have a straight like that, but that's not quite how hexagons work. So we grab you and we take you down to 0.25 negative as well. And then I don't quite remember how I did this. I think what I ended up doing on my what I thought looked good was to go here, subdivide this, grab this one, put it here, merge, plus. Just bring that flat, because otherwise you end up with this weird straight. So what you want is this edge to come, then connect to this edge, which this one's also water, but it will also have a bank with this one. So I think this one also comes up. So if we extend this up 0.25 to here, is that correct? No. There's something. this is probably the last corner I should be doing. So wait, this is for, so if this was water, I've lost the plot. Vertex. So what I need to do is maybe make a new collection. The template doesn't go in the collection, but we'll grab all of this stuff, put it all in the collection, grab the template back out, and then we can, okay, so we'll work on the other types first. So we have our flat, we have our flat water. So what we need to do is be like Alt, select this, Alt, duplicate. Do I have to select all of these and be like Alt, duplicate? All right, and then we want to no, undo. We want to, first off, I want to turn all this on. I don't know how to Alt duplicate a collection. Duplicate linked. There we go. So this collection, if we now grab, how do I move the collection though? I guess we can grab all of those and go grab, and it's not to here to here. So 0.866, and then grab and go to here. That doesn't seem quite right. No, it's 1.5 and 0.866. Right, then if we rotate you around the z-axis this much, which is 120 degrees, you are now a duplicate. So if I hide you and WF, what if I, okay, right. So you're not needed, you're not needed, you're not needed. You're not needed, whatever you are. You're not needed. Why can I not hide you properly? Is there just multiple copies of you? Probably. Alright, one of these. Which one are we working on? CFW, this one. Alright, so first off we want to rotate you. I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do with you. So we probably want to turn you off. So you're not the right one. What we need is the CWF, whatever, the counterpart to this one. So we have, is it this? Yeah, so this one. Right, so what I want, because these are linked, means that if I was to say grab you and take you down to here, yeah, so we need to take you to 0.025. No, not 0.025. Alright, then we want to take you, I'm going to take you down to 0.025 negative, and take you down 0.25 negative. Alright, then we straighten this one up by doing this, do subdivide, merge, last. Okay. So it's not you so much as we want to probably get both of these in edit mode. I don't need you in edit mode. I need you and you in edit mode. Then we go here, here. I can't draw a face between them. So I need to work out what I would need to do. So I need to extrude you up 0.25. And then I need to take you and you. I need to take you and you and go, if I was to subdivide you, that's where it would be. Okay, so then I want to delete this vertex. I want to go here, 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 face. Here, 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 face. And then I want to select here and go delete face. So that should give me a nice flat edge. This doesn't feel quite right because this feels like you have a steeper bank between these edges. Anyway, we'll work on this first. So we extruded this one up 0.25. Then we connected them, subdivided them, and deleted this one. Face. No, delete vertex. We then went, hey, face here, and reduce duplicate face back here. Okay. So both of you need to be colored brown. Brown, 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 brown. Okay. So maybe this is correct, but it just feels to me like this one is flatter. And therefore not the same. But what would I do in order to reduce, well, I guess increase the steepness? So what I need to know is like the distance from here to here versus here to here, I guess. One thing I can do is move those points back. So if I got my template back out and went, hey, what are you looking at? So I'm about halfway down one, and this one is a whole one. So I would need like this point, which it is, to be directly below that. So this slope is one whole slope distance. This one's only half a slope's distance, which would mean that if I connected you and said like merge last, and I took you, if I said you and you, and then said subdivide, merge last. Does that give you the same angle? I believe it does. I think this is what I had on my old one. Is it results in this corner that means that you can't tell the straights from the connections because it's just a degree, so they're both the same lean, and hopefully this will result in a much nicer, like when you have lots flowing. The only issue with this is I feel like the grass needs to fill in this gap. Another option that I could try, I guess, is do all the slopes as half a unit slope. So that is that this is a full unit slope. So how would I make this a half unit slope? Not quite sure. how to make this a half unit slope. So I would need to be like subdivide, subdivide, subdivide? No, subdivide. If I merged you back here, you the same, we'd have to subdivide, and then I don't know how I would extend you. No, so I don't want to merge you here. So that's not right. Maybe if I took the base one, so go back to the template, go tab, go, hey, template. Could I, in theory, be all like, I want to select those. How do I keep ending up in every mode but the box select mode? We want to shift D, P, no, P, select it. Alright, so what I would want to do is maybe like, turn this one off, turn this one off, this one off, come out of edit mode on this one, go into this one, and I want to be like subdivide. Oh, no. Subdivide. So that would give me half increments. And then, so you'd want the bank to be these ones here, which would mean that these ones would be the ones that slope downwards, and then these ones would be the ones that are in fact touching water. Like, so these ones, I wish I knew what hotkey I was clicking that was doing that. So these ones are my bank. These ones are my slope. Right. And then these ones are my water. So for one thing, we would need to modify this. Go subdivide. Like so. So what we would then need is to take, probably make, could I make these edges and then like dissolve? I'd want to take all these edges too and be like dissolve. Yeah. And then I want to take these to -0. Not that way. Undo, undo, undo. Edit, redo. So I want to take these, grab them, take them down to 0.025 negative. No, too many. Okay. No, I want to grab them, take them on the blue axis. Okay. So I just want to go like and set their z to -0.25. Yeah, I wish I could actually use Blender. I just have a vague sense of what I'm doing because I've done this so goddamn much. So with that, that gives me a steeper slope, a flat section, right? So then in theory, when I come back to here and go, okay, first off, we need to hide you. Good. When I go back into edit mode on you, can I go probably can't just go subdivide, can I? Like, it gives me the right number, but I don't think that's correct. What I probably want to do is go, first off, which one am I editing? CFW. And which one am my template here? So I probably want to go like shift duplicate. Rename, so let's delete CFW. So we delete CFW and we go you my friend are now CFW. And then you also go into collection 1 here. Okay, then we go, okay. So with the new and improved CFW, when we turn the template off, we go, you my friend, go down to the water level, negative 0.25. Along that axis. Interesting. So you're not going to the water level. You must go to the water level, right? Blue. 0.25. Negative. Okay. So you go to the water level. I don't know what height you go to yet. Some annoying fraction, I would assume. But also, in theory, because that edge is straight, I can just delete that vertex, go from that vertex to that vertex to that vertex, and go, hey, I don't need a point in between. We can then take you down 0.25 negative. Okay. It seems to be working in theory. So if I turn off this, this one. So then you need to go down to 0.25 negative. What have I done? Negative 0.25. Okay. And again, if we delete this vertex and then just recreate that vertex. So then I think I would want to go grab down 0.25 negative. And then we would want to go like you merge last, and probably you merge last, and you merge last. Okay, so that gives us a shallower wall. So the only thing I see wrong with this is it's just shifting the problem outward. But hopefully this will let me reason about what edge needs the work. So first up, we want to hide you. So first we'll give you the material so that you look right, because obviously this we want to be blue. And actually, if we had it slightly up, we could actually make that blue as well. But that's another problem for later. So with that, if we then so we want to like delete this entire collection. I actually want to delete everything in the collection as well, thank you, since they should all in theory just be references. So from there, we are going to need, I think, 2 more copies of this. So let's shift D. So this would be so which one did we just do? We just did this one. This one's, no, this is CFC. Yeah, so we had to change you. So you are dead now. You are dead to me. You are CFC. No, CFF. So CFF, and then so you become, we want, it's corner flat water, and then we also need a corner water flat. So these two should meet together to form the actual edge here when we go, okay, you go away. so you, so currently that would work fine. So basically at some point we're going to expand you, which means that this needs to, anyway, that doesn't matter because at the moment we're going to treat this as being the correct size. So we then want to go this collection, duplicate linked. What is this piece? The CWW. We don't want CWW. This CWW? Yeah, so this CWW we also don't want. Okay, so this should mean that when we duplicate you and we select all the pieces inside you and grab you and move you 1.5 along that axis and 0.866 along this axis and then rotate you Z 120 degrees, like so. We then want to hide this axis and we want to go, which of these are we hiding? So this one is flat, so flat water, we want to hide water flat, this one, and this one is the one we are working on. So in order for this to work, we need to take you, grab you, go down 0.25, no, so you're the one that needs to, which ones? So these ones definitely go down to water level, 0.25 negative. Okay. So I think these ones also go down to water level, 0.25 negative. Okay. So then in order to cut that corner, we would probably want to delete this one and say, put a face there. That'll merge that one. Okay. So that means in theory, so we're going to hide this one because you're in the wrong orientation. Instead, and this one because you're not the correct orientation either. This is obviously my template. Okay. So that means that this one is the one that merges. So what have we concluded? We've concluded that it was these definitely. So this whole bunch here goes down to water level. So grab Z 0.25 negative. Okay. So take them all the way down to water level. Okay. Then I think this one, if I grabbed you and take you down. Okay. So in theory, we want to take these two to water level as well. Somehow they've ended up slightly offset, which is mildly infuriating. But we'll work on that in a minute. So this one obviously has to go down 0.25 in the Z direction in the negative. Which would also mean if I grabbed you and went grab 0.25 negative Z. So we would, in theory, what do I want? Do I want a straight edge that then turns? I mean, kind of. That would be nice. So that would mean that if I just delete all of these vertices and said, like, no, you. So I would need them to stick slightly further out, which would narrow the neck of the waterways slightly. So what I would need is for this to be like, not wrapped, extended. The issue I think I see with this way is that sure, you get nice straight banks and corners here, but if you then had another like not river cell here, you end up with a small narrow river between them, whereas I kind of want to maximize the width of the river. Though, I mean, what's the harm? Now I gotta work out how exactly this is supposed to come. So how do you come out? First off, I need to work out where those two collide, which I think would be to go like shift duplicate, tab A, subdivide. They are almost certainly going to collide right there, which means if I then went, hey, like take this mesh and which one are we working on? This one, CFW. Control J. There we go. Now they are the same mesh, and then we go. Well, first off, you don't use that color. You, my friend, are brown. All right. So that means that I need to extend that to here, and say like so, and then I need to be all like. See, because it's going to take an equal snip out the other side, which means that on hexagons that connect water to water, they're going to be quite narrow. See, it would work great for coastlines, because like if this was all water, it's just like a nice kink. But when it's not water, it's going to be really bizarre. Alright, so I've also got to go into here. I got to go like, hey, I need like all of these. All of these to just fuck off faces and edges. I also feel like I fucked this up somehow, because they should, in theory, line up exactly. Like there should be no gap. So then obviously we would want to delete these vertices, not vertices, delete these, delete faces and edges. And we want to select like that edge and say dissolve. Dissolve edge. And those edges and say dissolve. Interesting. Why are you being a dick? Oh, and you've also left a whole bunch of fucking vertexes behind. Yes, please. Delete vertexes. Well, that shouldn't be too bad, because I can literally just go dun 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 face, and then I should probably do the same thing with these. Is select these and say delete. Probably not vertices. Delete. Delete edges, and then we're gonna be like you. Why have you selected this? How do I unselect this? Go away. No, I just want this one. I'm gonna say like that's not the right key, merge last. And then want to grab like these two and be all like, what the? This is what I mean when I say that Blender has too many hotkeys. I don't even know what I'm doing. Because literally everything is a hotkey. Okay. And then we want to go triangulate. Okay. So with that, with only 4 triangles, we have our corner piece. And then in theory, we can do the same thing with this one. So we want to do what? Shift duplicate. Then go U and U and what is this mesh? Why can I not select both these meshes at the same time? Who are you? This one and this one. We want to say Control J, tab in here. We want to go, hey, subdivide. Then we want to go face. Now, why are you not in the right spot? That's the real question. I feel like it's just that this isn't in the right spot, but nonetheless, we then need to go around deleting all the vertices that we do not need. So we'll need that vertice, we'll need that vertice. Delete vertices. Delete vertices. This one I don't need either. Delete vertices. Alright, so then those 4 make that face, those 4 make that face, then we say A, control, triangulate. Okay, so in theory, if I turn this one off and I turn this one, if we, do these line up exactly? Well, kind of. They're on the same plane, which makes me feel that maybe it is just that the other one's funnily placed. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I want to hide you, hide. Okay, that'll work. Alright, now to reduce the number of vertices here, we're going to say, hey, select these vertices, delete vertices. Yes, and same down here. Delete these vertices. And then with that, well, in reality, the only face you need is this one and this one. Then we say these can be delete. Oh no, don't leave the vertices. Delete in vertex mode. Delete these vertices. And then we say translate tessellate. So well, first off, we need to you definitely need to be shrunk down. You are way too many. So delete your vertice here, 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 that vertice and that vertice. I think of the vertices that need to go. Then we say face, 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 A, Control T. Okay. So we end up with the same angle around that corner. Those edges should all have their correct. So this is our water. Now the issue with this at the moment, and this is easily fixed if I can work out how these hotkeys goddamn work, is we need to select these triangles. We need to go Control T. No, right click, subdivide. That was bizarre. We want to select these faces. Please just select the faces. Okay, subdivide. We then want to say these faces. Delete. Good. Those vertices will do. Yeah. Delete those vertices. All right. So with that, can I perhaps say delete vertices there, go here, say delete that vertex. So weird reduction in triangles. So with that, all we need to do is go, our core here needs to be, why can I not turn the core on? The core needs to be larger. So that probably means going to our template, selecting, say, all of the core. Shift duplicating, separating it, calling this, so we need to delete this core, and this is now core. Core. Alright, so then we turn this off, we grab you, we say, hey, your material is blue. Then we grab you, we move you down 0.25. Then we go, I need to say all of these edge corners, every last one of these triangles is going to be subdivided, and then please work. Why you no work? Shift Alt, Alt, Alt. I could have sworn it's Alt click and you select an entire ring. Anyway. Okay, so probably could have just scaled the whole thing out, but you know. Like this, like this, like this, like this. Then we say delete, but no, delete, delete, dissolve vertices? No. Dissolve edges? No. Dissolve faces? No. Delete faces? No. We want to delete faces and edges. Well, that somewhat worked, except, you know, now we have a whole bunch of vertices that need to be gone. Man, this is one of those, the hotkeys would be so useful, but there's just so many, and like, it's terrifying to use hotkeys in Blender because the odds that you'll hit a hotkey that's not the one you wanted to do, but actually does something, and then it just you know, obliterates everything, and you won't even notice half the time that you've obliterated something. So all we really need is those ones, and then we can just say face, and then we can just be like delete, not the vertices, delete edges. Deleting edges should work, because, well, it almost worked. Alright, so maybe if we line this up just right, we can go, hey, all of these vertices, delete vertices. And then we can turn ourselves this way and go, hey, all of these vertices, delete vertices. And then we go, hey, all of these vertices, delete vertices. Hey, okay, so now our big core water is there. And now, I feel like you have too many edges. I don't know why, just it's something about when I selected you and you just had this weird like edge to you. I feel like there's duplicate edges here. And here. See, there is a duplicate edge. So then if I said this edge, I want to delete this edge too. And this edge, and this edge. Then if I go back to vertex mode, if I say, hey, you, I'm just putting them back, aren't I? You, U. Okay, anyway, that should, like, so there's technically duplicate edges there, I think. Like, if I select these edges and said, like, dissolve. Dissolve. I'm not quite sure. See, like, you've got a second edge, because there's clearly second edges there. Alright, how do I fix that? I think all I need to do to fix this is hope that I can undo far enough. Okay, there. So if I went, first off, delete edge. I don't like that it does it. Delete. Only edges and faces. Okay. I would need to do something like this. Select, 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 select face. Select, select face. Select, select, select face. Okay, so now you are actually part of this, and you are actually part of this, and you are actually part of this. And if I say A and I go Control T, you triangulate there. So I don't want that. I actually just want to go with the duplicates because annoyingly, having the duplicates is going to be less actual in the thing because it'll make these vertexes instead of trying to see. Because if I hit Control T now, it is exactly that. Go into U, we're going to go A, Control T. See, okay. So that would somewhat imply, annoyingly, that our corner here, our WW. No, that's what we want CWW. CWW. This one. Technically, the wrong size. It should come this way. There is an option to slide a vertex along its own face. Is it this one? The only issue I have with this, right, is it's really hard. Like, you can't get it to snap to that vertex. So I would actually be better off going. First off, in reality, I'd probably be better off leaving these vertexes because outside of Z fighting here, you know, it's actually less triangles. Because what I'm going to end up doing is going subdivide, delete faces. So we went from using 2 triangles. Went from using 2 triangles to delete edges. You better still have that vertex there. Yeah, okay, good. Delete. No, I want to select the edges. Stop. Go back to this tool. Delete edges. So then if I go like here, delete vertex. And then I said delete vertex. And I went here. See, outside of like removing the Z fighting that could potentially happen, I've actually added 2 triangles. But anyway, what is this? What is this monstrosity? Why do you have a fucking seam? No, go away. You didn't have a seam before. That means I changed something. I must have grabbed something and moved it. No. No. This is why everything is done from the template. That's also why I hate it so much. Wait, why do you just not quite line up? Well, you're actually getting a seam with that one, so I'm going to delete that. Go back to our template. That's the right template. Cool. Shift duplicate. Shift duplicate. Grab, take it down 0.25. Give it the correct material. No, the correct material. Go in here, say delete vertex. And then I want to say, like, how do I say, like, dissolve vertex? Dissolve vertex. Dissolve vertex. Dissolve vertex. Dissolve vertex. Can I dissolve this vertex? I can. So, in theory, I should be able to go like that. And that takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that takes just as many triangles to do that shape as it does to make, I guess it, actually it doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, now the seam is gone. Okay. So with that, we want to be all like you, just this whole thing, just the whole collection. Core is now part of this collection. Alright, so we should, in theory, I don't know if I delete this. So that should be all the possible connections. You don't need a water flat. Okay, so I guess we should rename this to SF straight flat, and then WW would become SW straight water. Alright. So I mean, in theory, we could also straighten this out by making this in line with that. But it shouldn't matter because the only time this is ever spawned is when there's 2 of these. Alright, so what we need now is to go, hey, you. So do you connect with you? No, because if you're not there, if we hide our straight, no, is it our, what are you called? Oh, we need to move you in here, and you're called CWW. If I turn CWW off, so this hexagon needs to fill in the gap of not having this hexagon. Oh, it's getting confusing again. So basically your corner, so you're when there's water here and a flat here. So you would need water to fill that section. Alright, so Control D. Give me a second. I am getting a phone call. Ignore the desktop. Ignore everything. Yeah. Hello? You called? I think I needed long. It's not the arms, it's the problem. It's that when the arms are long enough, the torso is too short. Oh no, I'm just taking a phone call on stream. Alright, let's... I didn't need to... I muted the microphone to myself, but not to the stream, which is hilarious. Hilariously backwards. Back to what I was doing. Okay, so I need to go here, go here, go here, go the duplicate and okay, what are you? This one. Okay, so we want to control J. We want to go tab and we want to go, okay, so I need to subdivide twice, I think, no, 3 times? Yeah, 3 times. Alright, so then I would need this, and then we need to say that that is that color. See, again, we're going to have a slight the other option, the other thing is that that corner piece, like that goes here, could also do this bit and therefore reduce the amount of overlap. But I feel, first off, that you're kind of extending into the other one. That's why I cut like that, is because it's easier to reason about the fact that this is now cutting into this one's space. But anyway, we'll delete that vertex, and then we go, hey, you, and then we go face. Alright, and then we go A. Okay, so first off, we need to remove all the duplicate stuff that's just about. Okay, well, those two can stay. Delete vertices. No, that one stays. God, why are you not letting me do this? And again, we're back to fucking Blender having hotkeys for everything, so I'm always misselecting stuff. We want to keep that one. Delete vertices. Okay. So, with you cutting that notch in there, that would fill that water in when this one is missing. But again, it's got that little seam, which is so annoying. But anyway, we're going to need that on the other one as well, aren't we? Which means we're going to need to take so this one, we need to rotate you -60, like so, and then we need to turn on, so we want CFW, this one, and then we want to say, okay, so this one and this one, no, this one and this one, Control J, tab, shift duplicate, L, delete vertices. Alright, then we want to go you subdivide 3, then we want to go you face, delete vertice, you face. Okay, and then Control T. Okay. Also, we need to select that this is a different color. Okay. Is that the correct? Is that all the pieces I need? Is the question. So we have straight land and water. We have corner for all water, a corner for land flat, corner. I think that's all of the corners that we need. It's probably going to look terrible because it's different to what I originally had. I think I like my original one better, but again, I've lost it because GitHub ate that one. Or not GitHub, Git ate that one because I haven't got it on GitHub yet. And it was just like I saved it and then reverted and then it deleted. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Is 7 the right number? So if we go back to here and we go to wave objects, the river one's still in here. So, well, first off, this code all really needs to be like condensed. Add trees. So, I think the river only needs 7. So what is that? There's bank, corner, straight, bank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and center 7. So seems like it might be the right number. The vector blender, and we go, why have you got a thick ass black line? No, you. Why have you got a thick ass black line here? I must ask, why is this line thick ass? So, if I said like, hey, delete, not the vertices, delete the edges. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's just a line. Alright, so you're good. So, starting from the top, you, tab. How am I selecting multiple things at once? Also, you don't seem to line up. What is this? Why are you like this? Why are you the only thing that's a different size? Like everything else lines up except you. Okay, you shift duplicate. You go the fuck away. Then you get assigned the right color. You go away. Okay. So, what we need to do is go these all get grabbed down to here. 2, 5, negative. That's not quite correct, but anyway. Okay, then we want to say you and you merge last. Okay, then we say you and you merge last. You merge last. You and wait, did I unmerge that corner? Where's the vertex on that corner? There. So just you and you merge last. You and you merge last. Wait a second. I need to hide the rest of these. I feel like that's my mistake there. Let's bring it back to... Is that already as far back as I can go? Okay. Hide this. We need to alt duplicate you, rotate you -60 around the Z. Okay. Okay, so first off, you hide. You're the one that I'm editing. So core can stay, you have to go, you stay, you can go. Okay, so merge last, and you just get deleted. You merge last, you merge last, you merge last. No, that's incorrect. You don't go down. That's one thing. Grab you 0.025. No, 0.25. Which one? Is it you? Are you the one that's not supposed to? Okay, 0.25. Okay, you go. Notice you merge last. Merge last. And then you merge last. Nope. You merge last. Delete vertice. No, not the vertice. Okay, you merge last. Merge last. Merge last. Merge last. Okay, so then if I said like, can we delete edge? Delete edge. Okay. So, does that all line up now? So you, as part of this collection, you are CFF. Okay. You are core. So CFF. So that should mean that if we delete our two templates, we select this and we go like File, Export, Wave. We go to here, hexagon, Assets, and this is river underscore add new. Alright, so in theory, if I then came to here, go up into, I think it's this asset that I saved it. Yeah, river underscore new. A C. Just give it a quick squeeze to make sure there's nothing that's more than. Yep, nope, something is. So one of those has not been triangulated. Probably this one. Okay. Okay. Then file. No, we want to go out of that. We're going to here. We're going to export. OBJ. Yes, export. Then when we come back to here, we go AC, and then we go into the assets, we go to the waves, we go into river, paste that in, right, and then we come, yeah, we don't need it. Okay, so then when we come back to our wave objects here, so river, so core will be automatically extracted. Node, river, so it'll load river. Then we want our bank. Our bank was FF, right? No, SF, straight flat. Yeah, straight flat. And our corner was, a default corner is CFF. CFF. Then our straight was SF. Our bank was CFF. SF. I don't think this is necessary anymore. I think I've modified this beyond this having any kind of bearing, like, but right bank. So that would probably see water flat. No, that'd be left bank. Flat water. And this would see water flat. And this would be C flat flat. And this would be CWW. And then this is CWW. CWW. Right bank was FW. CWF. Bank was CF. No, SF, straight flat. Wait, why is, oh, because if it's trees, yeah, connect straight flat. Well, I mean, in theory, it's still going to be broken because it's broken internally, like the order at which it wraps around is broken. So that's going to be broken regardless if I've got these in the right order. Need to go here, hit F5, and then well, I see a lot of brown, which is probably telling me that I've got my indexes off by a little bit. Transform. That's too far. Not that one. That one. So, well, for one thing, I think they're rotated a little bit wrong. That's what that tells me, is that almost certainly you are rotated incorrectly. So we go back to Blender, we go rotate around this axis 30 degrees. Okay. File. That can't be right. These are almost certainly supposed to be 60 degrees that way. 60 Z negative. Okay. If that's how the hexagon works, that will be the correct orientation. Because clockwise. Then we want to go export OBJ new river export. Okay, so then we want to go and we're going to go back to this one back to here, back to our new river object, and then okay, and then if I was to restart the game, I think just hitting F5 would have probably fixed that because I had hot reloading on, which means that it would have reloaded all those sub-meshes, but and then yeah, then it would just been a case of regenerating the actual mega mesh. Probably should have dropped myself down to the right height first, but you know, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I still see a lot of brown. But I feel like that lot of brown is more to do with the fact that I've increased the amount of bank, maybe? Or just that it's not getting blue. Yeah, no, it's obviously the wrong color. What the hell am I doing wrong? Well, for one thing, you seem to be going the wrong direction, but also, how have they... Oh, because they're forming just a hexagon. So, for one thing, their normals are probably wrong. If I go... Is it... Here, show me the normals. Your normals are right. Your normals are wrong. Okay. You. Why is that one triangle not playing nice? Okay. Okay. So again, starting from the top, your normals are correct. How have I managed to select two things? Your normals. A shift N. No, you two are weirdly the only ones that had the normals correct. Okay. So that has the correct normals. Again, all but you, that one, shift, invert that one. You also need to be triangulated. The rest of your normals are correct. Your normals are correct. Your normals are correct. And your normals are correct. Okay. So then if we go file, export, obj, export. Really should make like the render distance or the number of chunks, anything like that would be so much better if I made it smaller so that it didn't take forever to render. For testing purposes, it just doesn't make sense to do such a large map. Alright, we must be getting close. Alright, so I'm still not sure at all why it's rendering upside down. Does that actively require a reload then? Probably. Well, if I'm going to reload, I may as well say like world size, render distance. Let's just say like 50. That should make it so much faster because it's like, well, not only is it the render distance, it's I don't know, like 6 times less, maybe 9 times less chunks it needs to render. No, it's still rendering the same sized world. This makes me feel like I'm just being stupid. How the hell do I calculate render distance? Maybe it's world size. I don't remember which one it actually uses. Anyway. If we go to test, we can find out. Go to test and go, when you generate chunks, do you use world size? Non-blocking chunks, no, it does. Spawn test chunks. Render distance isn't used. World size. Yeah, world size divided by chunk size. Which means I basically tweaked the one that doesn't matter. Oh, right, my camera's going to be really high up again, isn't it? God damn it. Transform. Down. Down. Okay. I am immensely confused by the fact that even after a restart... Oh, wait. What it'll be is I exported the OBJ. But I didn't do. Let's restart the app. Because again, I dramatically shrank the world size, which will dramatically increase the... like how quickly it renders the whole lot. Come on, come on. See? Much faster. And let's face it, for the type of debugging I'm doing, I do not need a map like so fucking big that it takes up like the entire game. Okay. So it's bizarre because at this point I don't actually know what's broken. At least they're all in the right direction. Okay. Now one thing that appears to be broken is that my hexagons are too big. How big are you from point to point, may I ask? 6.5. Okay, so if I selected the whole lot, said Alt duplicate, grabbed it. Why is it moving in funny axes? Because I'm moving via normal. Global, grab, move you that way. 1.5. Rotate you around 180 degrees. Okay, so first off, that's one thing to note. These are too big. Okay, so don't want to select everything. What we want to do is probably go undo, 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 undo. Just delete all these. Okay, we want to linked. Okay. Select object. Okay. We want to grab you, move you 1.5, then rotate you 180 degrees around the z-axis. Okay. We then want to go this collection. Select object. Scale 0.75. You are supposed to be linked objects. You are linked objects. So obviously select object scale 0.75. Okay. Don't tell me I have to do this whole thing again because my scaling was fucking off to begin with. How big did I make the original hexagon? Let's find out. Get the fuck out of edit mode. Shift A. I want to make a mesh of a circle with a radius of 1. Yeah. So that is a radius of 1. Yeah, so that's correct. Okay. Scale 1.25. No. Well, apparently this one's just scuffed now. No, we would need to just go like delete all of these, select all of these, just remove the 001. I don't know what I've done. So grab 0.15. Negative. No, not 0. Grab them, move them 1.5 negative. Rotate them 180 degrees. Okay. So we put you back at 0. Except you're not actually back at 0, are you? Which is really bizarre. So, first off, so I must have been moving them weirdly. 0.25. Negative. Oh god, don't just keep hitting buttons. Negative. Why can't I not? Okay. Negative 0.25. Okay. Then I want you to be at 0. And also 0, because it's the mesh that needs to be moved. Blender's doing my goddamn head in. Okay, so see, you're at the right spot. Except, like, how are they offset by like the tiniest amount? Okay, you're right. Okay, going through each of them. You're all at 0, 0. And your rotation can please be back to... I need to have a rotation of 0, because I feel like that will break things when you're exported. Alright, so then we would need to go all of you into edit mode. All of you need to be rotated around the global. Excuse me. How do I get you to rotate around the fucking center? 3D cursor. How do I then move my 3D cursor here? Control, Alt. This is when we go over to internet and go, hey, blah 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 blender, set cursor to origin. Shift C. Hey. Rotate. 30 degrees to give me a flat top. I feel like that's incorrect. I feel like I need pointy topped hexagons, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, one way to check would be to go here. Can I? No, I can't run a second instance of Blender. Okay, let's file, save as, river.blend. Where is my YouTube live? Okay. River.blend. Okay, and then we can go like file, open. Cells. So this is my old stuff. This is like the old river. So how is it orientated? So up. Y is up, X is to the right, and they start clockwise. Pointy to the Y. Okay. Don't say it. Y is up. Exactly that. Okay, that is the correct orientation. Y is up. Okay. Export obj new river. Okay, and then we want to go back to here, go back to the new river. Go back to this river, AV. I don't think literally anything changed. Except maybe the rotations. And again, I have no idea if I need to restart this stuff. So the other thing, I guess, to check would be to go File, Open, Cells. Is how big is, say, the river tile here? You, my friend, go from 0.5, so 0.5. Which means you're 1 across the pointy, which means that, what's the bet when I go Shift, a mesh circle with a radius 6. Huh. What sort of radius are we talking? Oh, isn't that weird? And it's like literally twice the size. That doesn't make any sense. Considering that you have literally got a, never mind, I'm an idiot. You have a radius of a half a diameter of a hole. Okay, so open, don't save, go back to the river, go here, go A, scale 0.5. Wow. Now we need to export all of this as an OBJ. New river. Okay. Then we come back to not here, here. Then we go here, we go, not material, A, C, A, V. Okay, and then if I say F5. Hey, at least it's all the right fucking size now. Okay, so hilariously, what have we got wrong? So first off, our water connections are wrong. So we need to go back to here and say water. Wait. Not our flat water. Yeah, so you should be SW. And then you're straight, so I don't know why I'm loading a corner piece. You should be SF. Maybe read the instructions. Okay, so this is our straight, so SF, and this is our corner, CFF. Okay, and then you are SF, and you are SW, SF. Map edge. The map edge is an SF. Okay. Water is CWW. Flat water is CFW. Water flat is CWF. Flat is CFF. Okay, and then our map edge would be CFF. Our map edge water would be FW. Our water map edge would be WF. Our flat edge map edge would be flat. Our map edge flat would be flat, and our trees would be straight flat. Okay, so in theory, when I rerun this again, We got a main. We got a run. Let's just be bored and go calculator while I wait for this to build. We go. We go F5. F5. Oh my god, it worked. Now the only issue with it is the bug that was happening before. Okay, and just for if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, doesn't appear to be anyone here anyway, but anyway, when I added I implemented an iterator so that when I generate a map, you see how it comes from here, do it again. So it comes from this side and it iterates like across and to here. This iterator is like 3 times faster than the iterator I've implemented for it next. But the main reason, the way you'd want to use the slow iterator, which both iterators are just mind-boggling fast, it doesn't matter. But the main reason to use the slower iterator is the slower iterator actually iterates from the center chunk spiraling outward, meaning that basically the closer to the player get loaded first, except in theory the chunks directly next to the player, because as you see, these chunks don't load in because they haven't had a chance to spawn yet. So theoretically the 7 chunks next to the player or whatever will not spawn, and then it'll spiral out and then they'll spawn. But in doing so, I changed how I increment, or iterate through the neighbors. Originally, I had it that there were, you had the up neighbor, the left neighbor, the right neighbor, and then I decided, because flat hexagons and pointy hexagons alternate with which is the top and which is the side, and that alternation happens within chunks and cells. So when you go to from a cell, an individual cell can be pointy, will make a chunk made of pointy hexagons will actually be a flat hexagon itself. And because of that, it was kind of hard to say to users of my plugin, hey, you need to pick whether you're pointy or flat hexagons, because every time you step up a layer, you'll have pointy hexagons, flat chunks, and a pointy map. So it kept alternating back and forth. So instead, I just said neighbor 1 through 6, basically. And in doing so, I've obviously shifted. Fucking sim. I've shifted the ordering of which it checks corners, which means that although it's actually spawning the correct chunks, I think this one doesn't seem right, it's rotating them wrong, and therefore resulting in this should be here, this should be here, and if it was, it would be the correct. So it's just that it's no longer looking in the correct order. So that's what we're going to fix now that I have my new chunk implemented. After the stream, maybe, or maybe once I've fixed this bug, the bug causing this, I'll go through and make sure this shit's right so that it doesn't get these seams. These seams are caused by errors when I'm doing Blender and mixing, matching the different pieces together. If the hexagon or if the vertex ends up just slightly rounding to the wrong direction, it literally just clobbers the ability for the chunking mesh to combine them. So see how they're ever fucking so slowly? And it's either in Blender that they're not actually quite lined up, or at some point they get a rounding error, like when I'm rotating them, because as you saw, I only made one side. So when I rotate it, there can be a rounding error. And this is why in the video I talk about how I'm moving from using floats to just using IVEX times by 1,000. Because you don't get floating point errors in integer math, and for the sake of the game that I'm trying to make, I don't need accuracy of my meshes greater than 0.01 pixels, or 0.01 units. Anyway, on to fixing what's causing that issue. So as you can see, we insert each possible node. This is not really used because I believe I changed it that it just literally checks to see if the neighbor can connect to water, just because again it was difficult to go like which one gets precedent. So it was relying on just the fact that it took whichever one was on top and then worked it out from there. But that stopped working when I went like, hey, I want certain things to be able to connect multiple ways. So bake here. Yeah, so we extract our core, and if the core doesn't exist, we say, hey, not loaded. This should be error. Core not loaded. Don't want to print shit unnecessarily. So we say is water, and then we say false, as in none of our neighbors are water, and we just did an array of 6. Then we iterate through all our neighbors, and we say, hey, get their can connect, and say, so can connect. Basically, if there is a neighbor, get its can connect. So if that's sum. And then we say, is water I, because we're iterating through 0 to 6, connection.canConnect.contains water. So if the neighboring hexagon has any water, we want to say, yes, it is a cell that you can connect to as a water. Then we generate our points and we bake our core into them. This all needs to be rewritten. It's atrocious code at the moment because all of this stuff should be inside a single struct that you can access and use, as opposed to needing to initialize all this stuff yourself and then, pass, you always pass all of them together, so you may as well bake them into a single type. So then we iterate through all 6. We get our bake data, which I believe I don't use because this was from when I was going to make them dynamically change heights based on their neighbor's heights. So this is all useless information. So we get the straight of is water I. So we get straight. Okay, we get the get straight connection. If I is water. Okay, if is water I. Well, because it's an array of booleans, we test if I is water, we get connection. Right. Else we get flat. And that's how we calculate which one to do. Hence, we don't need to do all those other ones that I was doing where I'm like, map edge, it'll never find a map edge because it treats map edges as flat. We then extract the edge and then we do the corner. So this is most likely where the issue is occurring, is if is water I plus 1 modulo 6. So basically the next one around. So why? Surely, okay, and then then we apply rotation to it. So we take 1.0472 times I as an F32 and then cos it. So that's 60 degrees times I as an F32 and then apply cos, which is just a lookup if I remember. Like I could easily turn this into a lookup for speed and I32 calculations in terms of just I only ever rotate by multiples of 60, so I could just index into a lookup table for I to get the cos as an I32, and then I do all this and then I round and I clap back down. Anyway, edge.bake, sorry, edge.bake info. This gives me the edge. Okay, right. Then I rotate all the points. Right, then I bake it in. Then I do all the points for the corner and bake that in. So what's going wrong? I don't even use the iterator 0 through 6. Like all of these, I iterate 0 through 6. Which means I iterate. So it has to be where I'm generating this, like where I'm calling bake. So is that here? So where do I call dot bake? Core dot bake. Okay. Let's hex data. Okay, I think it's you. So neighbor connections. Do you iterate using the iterator? Because that's the only thing it can be, is that it's the iterator. Yeah, dot neighbors. So why are you not working? So we iterate through your dot neighbors, which gives us a cell and a cell ID. Then we look up each neighbor, and then we set the connection type and the connection neighbor. Okay. So into iterate, enumerate. So this is the only place where things have changed. So I guess the one thing it could be is that I have to iterate through backwards now. I'm not quite sure though. So we need to go back to here. We need to go down to here. We need to go to IDs. So for this, neighbor 1 is Q1 Q. Let me have a look. So neighbor 1 is +1 -1. So that's up right, then it's to the right, then it's down right. Okay, so that would imply, so yeah, you just go clockwise though, right? Like here +1, and then you're -1 +1, and then you're -1 0, and then you're 0 -1. Yeah, so that's a clockwise rotation around through each hexagon. Are you the same? That might explain it. So each neighbor, but then we get neighbors, and get neighbors is wrong. So neighbors is different to get neighbors, and that would explain. So you are supposed to be, well, they should all be there. So it's +1 -1. Then it should be +1. Then it should be 0 +1. Then it should be -1 +1. Then it should be -1. And then it should be 0 -1. So it could be the discrepancy between neighbors and neighbors, neighbor and neighbors. This one is for if you are trying to fetch a specific neighbor. This one is for if you are just trying to iterate neighbors. So this being different to this would result in mismatched like tiles, since it will pass the neighbors in a different order than the other one will pass the neighbors, like different paths. Oh god. I hope this is making sense to everyone. If not, I can explain it better. But one thing I've learned from live streaming, especially when you're small, is there's no point explaining things when there's nobody watching. Because, sure, hello to anyone watching the VOD after 2 hours of me fucking running Blender. I'm sure you appreciate me explaining the stuff, but you can't really ask for help, so... like, it's one of those weird things. Like, from someone who watches VODs, I don't like when the streamer, like, talks... Okay, I think I made it worse. Hilariously... Okay. Yeah, as I said, the one thing I don't like about VODs is when the like the streamer talks to the audience in a like a non-productive way, I guess. So it seems like all I've done is I've set the rotation off by 1. So if I look in Blender, this way is 1, and that's what I've got. So unless what it's supposed to be is that way is not actually 1, which is possible. It's possible that somewhere in my code the orientations flip. The issue is it's really hard to I gotta come up with some kind of way of generating like a specific pattern, like one bit of land or water, and then I can see what's going wrong. So I might have to go implement that. So I think the easiest way to implement that would be to go gen, and then so this one just takes, so this is gen map, gen get, what are you, gen? Yeah, so you take in a cell ID. Ah, right, your gen map is, and you return the floats for that particular point. New, okay. Noise to frequency, noise. Okay. So we add rules, gen. So our hex cell. So just to basically go, just be like, if ID equals hex cell. No, hex cell ID. Cell ID 0. Then I want you to return. Okay, where do you get the handles from? Can be get. Okay, so that would kind of imply. So it would be self dot cell rules dot cell rules 0 dot so that should be a cell rule dot color dot hex dot clone. Okay, so this basically means if it's 0, return cell 1. If ID dot distance from cell ID cell ID 0 is less than 2, I would want you to return. I may have to go look up what each cell is in terms of like why is that not working? Oh, because it's log SD ID. So basically, I'm sure you make this like 3. So if the cell is equal to 0, I want it to be this one. If it's less than if it's less than 2 cells away, I want it to be that one, which should result, if I set those to being grass and water, that the center cell will be grass and the the chunks are only collapsed once per like when they spawn. It's confusing. I have a like a queue for when meshes need to be generated. So in the future, if I want to update a chunk, I can put it back in the queue. But at the moment, just when a chunk spawns, it's added to the queue and it's generated once. So that's how I'm collapsing the chunks. Is it's once when they spawn, and if they ever get updated, they can be collapsed again. And then internally to each chunk, if I go into here and I select, there's another reason to make the world smaller. Makes it much easier to find chunk 0. Oh, I'm counting back up. You need to go down, and you go to 0 and 0. Okay, so this chunk. So what I do is I pass to my waveform collapse algorithm, which interestingly, there's a lot of triangles. It will get a reference to every single one of these sub-hexagons, and then it will waveform collapse each hexagon, and then put that into the mesh, and then waveform like collapse this hexagon and put it into the mesh, and then waveform collapse this hexagon and put it and bake it into the mesh. And this does result in issues like this, where your big swaths of the same material, where it's like you can see that each of these is where the center of each hexagon is baked in, and then this is it working out how to connect to its neighbor. So you could make this more efficient by like reducing the number of number of triangles needed for each connection, which is what I was kind of doing in Blender. This particular connection type here, which is the straight, is 3 triangles. The only reason it looks like so many is because this is a corner, and the corner is 6 triangles, and then 3 triangles, and then 6 triangles. And then, obviously, because there's 3 corners meeting, each of these corners is 3 triangles. So it does take up a lot more triangles than it needs to. But the way to get around that would be to have, like, say, the wave, before it checks to see what edges it needs to connect, it could just go, if all my neighbors are water, just spawn the four triangles needed to make a full-size hexagon. That would mean that all this water space no longer needs to have so many triangles in it. I just haven't got to that point yet because I'm been working on other things. The same as like my grass here. Grass has no waveform collapse to it. Like it will always just be a full hexagon of grass for now. So I could change it to just being the 4 triangles needed to make a big hexagon and reduce the number of triangles. So I need to go to wherever I generate my where do I generate you? That's got to be in like test somewhere. Let's find it. Okay, you. Nope, that's from world. Import from world. So, you know, it's going to be in a different thing, isn't it? It's going to you. Okay, load test. Yes. Okay. So, what order are they loaded? That is the question. So, I should really put all this stuff in parentheses so I can collapse it like this. So, how do our rules load? So we have a hex cell. No, this is objects. I'm loading. Okay, cell rules. So rule 1 is grass. Rule 2 is river. Or I guess 0 and 1. So we go back to here. Where were we? We were in the map gen. We were doing here. So yeah, 0 is grass, 1 is river. So this should, in theory, when I generate a map, now generate a circle in the middle that is like pure. I've just noticed how really far behind my stream is. I thought I set it to low latency, but that's way more than 30 seconds behind. Weird. So I want to go down. Take our camera all the way down. Okay, so yes, it worked. So for one thing, that's just completely. Oh no, all of them seem to be. It's 180 degrees out. Well, you're 180 degrees out. What are you? You're not 180 degrees out. You're also not 180 degrees out. Wait, no, you're 180 degrees out. So those two are 180 degrees out. What are you? So it kind of is async in that they can independently draw. The issue is they need access to the wave mesh resource. So if I go to my beautifully named test, this was me testing async non-blocking draw chunks. Then for available parallelization, each frame I generate one chunk. So they do move in an async like block. They get spawned in. The issue is these. So the wave objects and the wave meshes. Not meshes, wave meshes. Wave meshes. So these are both unmutable, but internal to Bevy's ECS, which means I can't get access to them like across frame boundaries. I have to generate on frame boundaries. So the way I'm currently doing that is one chunk per core per frame, giving the remaining threads, because there's if I remember, computers have like 2 threads per physical core. So those remaining threads can do the game logic, and so basically I'm taking about half the CPU's ability to generate chunks. I then generate my chunks and sometimes whichever chunk is the slowest is my frame rate, basically. What I'm planning to do, I talked about it in my video on my channel about my plans for asyncing it, is to have like a pause resume style. So instead of having this just go until it's done, I'm going to give it 16 milliseconds. Whatever it gets done in 16 milliseconds, it then pauses itself, leaving the resources that it's generated so far. So the index map and the chunk like vertex maps, the vertex map, the indices and positions, all that will be like in a single resource behind a mutex or something, in a map that when it generates them, it goes, hey, here's your mutex version that you should be able to lock the whole time, because only one thread will try and generate any chunk per frame. And after 16 milliseconds, you have to hand it back if you haven't finished. But if you finish early, you can grab another one. And so that should result in small chunks being able to generate multiple per frame, and big chunks, can take 4 or 5 frames plugging away to generate. Because the other option is to move out of using Bevy's resources and instead use like a custom read-write lock, because really that's all it needs. Is I almost never write to these assets. They're mostly just loaded when the game starts and then used. They very rarely will you load a an asset like partway through, like wave objects. Maybe if I made some kind of level editor or custom asset editor, you would, but in most cases you don't use a wave editor. Like you don't edit these assets. So a read-write lock would be a very easy way to just chuck them off somewhere in a static resource and be like, oh, you need to rewrite them. Because most of the time it'll spend in write mode. But I really don't want to have to write something outside of Bevy's ECS, because I really like having the change detection and all that wrapped up nicely. So I think I'm going to take the approach of trying to do it with like the pause resume approach, just because it should result in the same kind of performance, in that that you can generate large chunks without slowing the game down, but will result in a nice it's all tied into Bevy, change detection, that kind of stuff. What was I up to? Right, I was working out so you're 180 degrees out, and these aren't 180 degrees out, but they're like rotated one increment the wrong way. So that's really bizarre. I don't know what I've done wrong. So, because you're also the same, so you're just, I guess, rotated wrong. Alright, well it appears I've run out of quiet time, so I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll see you guys in the next time when I continue trying to fix this bug, because it's really stumping me.